What do ethical sadists know and do that our government doesn't seem to freaking know or do? Let's get into it. Lately, I've been watching how power moves on the news and communities and everyday interactions, especially on social media. And it feels like cruelty has become the point. It's how people get their coins now. Rage bait, anyone? People might call it policy, order, or even leadership. But what it really is a pleasure out of being in control that people get. And that's what I want to talk about. What power looks like when it's held with care and what it looks like when it just feeds on harm. Yeah, let's talk about it. Here's the thing. Cruelty is seductive. It's insatiable even. It gives a false sense of control to people who have often spent their lives feeling small, like some folks in government or even that bully back in the day. It tells the unhealed ego he'll never be powerless again. And that's why we see entire systems built on humiliation, whether or not that's politics, policing, or even these corporations. Cruelty works because it offers a quick relief from vulnerability. Because if I'm in control, if I had a power, you can't hurt me. But it's an addiction. Because every act of domination that goes unchecked, it needs another one to keep the illusion alive. They got to keep chasing that high and get that hit. And that's how nations, companies, and even some of these families keep reproducing the trauma instead of addressing it. Because I need it to continue. I need to keep being cruel to keep feeling powerful. So what ethical sadists know in kink is when someone identifies as a sadist, they aren't talking about domination just for domination's sake. And when we say ethical sadist, we're talking about someone who takes real pleasure in another person's reactions to controlled intensity, but does it inside of a clear container of what? Consent, communication, and care. They're seeking a response, right? They check in and they stop when they're asked. They stay accountable for what they create within that container. That is power that is held with awareness, something we ain't seeing going on globally. An ethical sadist understands that intensity, pain, and control are tools. And they're tools that require, again, consent, structure, care. I'm going to keep saying that. Because before any scene, a conversation happens. And it might look something like, what's the point of this? Why are we doing this? What do you want out of this? What do I want out of this? What are we desiring? What's off limits? What can we do? What can't we do? What we might be able to do? What are the signals we going to use? Are they going to be verbal, nonverbal? What are we doing here? And how is our aftercare going to look once this is over? Guess what that is? The opposite of the fucking systemic cruelty that we're seeing happening right now. Again, let's go back to those three words: consent, containment, care. And those three words are the backbone of a healthy power exchange. Let's get into it. Consent. Everyone involved understand what's happening, and we all say yes. And we have the ability to stop. And we don't feel forced to say yes. And we understand that our no will be honored. Containment. This is the structure that holds the intensity so it doesn't spill over into any chaos, right? It's where we're doing it, how it's going to look, how long is it going to last. And then we have our care, which is the willingness to tend to what we've created and to stay accountable to the impact of it because we understand that there is an inherent risk in what we are doing. Now, if you look at government, religion, or even business through that lens we just talked about, you can see exactly what's missing, such as you're going to see decisions without consent, because I don't know who consented to half this shit that's going on that we're noticing. You're going to see control without containment. Who's stopping this shit from happening? And then we're going to see power without any level of care. Are we talking about healthcare, anybody? That's why people are burnt the fuck out. That's why people are numb. They're tuning it out because the systems we live under right now are running scenes no one agreed to. I did not say yes to this pie fucking apples. All right. Anyway, let me dial it back. We've been trained to believe, or a lot of us, I won't say everyone, right? Let me use some caveats. A lot of us have been trained to believe that authority equals safety, that obedience equals goodness. If I do what I'm told, everything will be okay. A lot of us have learned early that if we just keep quiet, if we follow the rules, if we don't make a scene, don't make it worse, everything will be all right. So we've internalized that control equals love and that compliance equals belonging. And that's why cruelty often passed as what? Leadership. Because we've been taught to confuse domination with stability. When someone says, I'm doing this for your own good, this is for your protection, listen to their tone. Listen to how they talk. Are they trying to prevent laughter? Because it sounds like they enjoy the punishment and the pain that they're putting people through. I'm just saying. That's the sound of power feeding itself. Hmm. Our nervous system has memorized how power has felt. If you survived by pleasing, then your body still looks for cues on how to perform. Are they mad? Are they not mad? What do I need to do? How do I need to switch it up? If you survive by shutting down, then your body still equates, I'm going to be small, I'm going to be invisible with safety. That's why this whole idea of liberation and freedom isn't just an idea, it's a retraining of our muscle memory. And Kink gives us a lab for that, a space where you can test new patterns, where I can speak a boundary and I can have it honored. We can feel intensity and remain safe. And we can release control and still be respected. And guess what that does? It rewires the whole fucking system. But it's not just about cruelty, because cruelty doesn't just rely on the aggressor. It needs an audience. It needs somebody to watch. And we've become a culture of watchers. We scroll, repost, we scroll, repost, react, and we move the fuck on. Think a voyeur is named. We know who they are. And they have to get permission to watch. In real life, most people watch harm without any context or consequences. Again, rage bait, people bullying all day, every day, saying some of the most cruel stuff. And guess what? Nothing happens. And this passivity, it feeds the machine. And cruelty thrives when empathy goes offline. Now, when we have power coupled with giving a fuck, with care, it looks different. It looks steady. It listens. It provides a level of stability, of safety. That kind of power builds trust instead of fear. It builds connection without a need to manipulate or trick. And I've seen this in good dominance. I've seen it in good leaders, good teachers, and even good healers because they carry power like a tool and not a weapon. So why does all of this matter? I mean, I don't even know if that needs to be a question, but we'll ask it anyway. We're at a cultural breaking point. Old systems built on unchecked dominations are cracking at the seams. Like it's all around us. And what's being exposed isn't just corruption, it's a lack of skill with power. Again, there's no containment, no care, no repair. And Kink offers tools that those systems refuse to learn or just refuse to fucking use. Communication, feedback, structure, mutual accountability. And that's why things like therapeutic BDSM and self-reconciliation therapy exist. It's to study power in the body and to teach ethical use of intensity, to make space for agency and choice. It's about learning how to hold power without turning it into harm. And here's the thing, y'all. Cruelty is easy. It don't take any skill to destroy, to humiliate, or control. But power with care is harder because it demands something from you. It demands your presence, your honesty, and your restraint. It requires the courage to feel the impact of what we do. And ethical sadists, they know that. The systems, they know it. They just don't fucking care. So it appears. And that's the difference between domination that heals and domination that destroys. This is the work that I do. This is the work that is being done. Teaching people how to hold power responsibly in the body, in our relationships, and in the world. And here's the thing power itself is not the issue, it's people's lack of skill with power. That's the problem. Mm. And with that being said, my love, this is it for today. Y'all go ahead and do the things in the comments. Make sure you like, share all of the things. And I'll see y'all next time. This is Doc Yu Roc. I'm out. Peace.